So, if you're a Civic fan, or honestly just someone who loves seeing how everyday cars keep getting better year after year, you're going to want to stick around for this because the upcoming 2026 Honda Civic is shaping up to be one of the most interesting updates we've seen in a long time. Honda hasn't reinvented the Civic from scratch, and honestly that's a good thing. Instead, they've taken what already works and polished it in a way that feels modern, confident, and very Honda. The first thing you notice is the design. At a glance, it still looks like a Civic, but spend a few seconds with it and you'll see how much sharper it feels. The front looks wider and lower, giving the car a more planted presence on the road. The headlights is slimmer and more focused, and the overall shape feels cleaner and more mature, like the Civic has grown up without losing its sporty attitude. Around the back, the changes are subtle but effective. The lights are more refined, and the body lines feel smoother and more balanced. It's not trying to scream for attention, but it definitely looks like a car that belongs in 2026, not something stuck in the past. Honda clearly knows that Civic buyers want style without being flashy, and this design hits that sweet spot. Now let's talk about one of the biggest talking points this time around, the hybrid setup. This is where things get really exciting. Honda is leaning harder into hybrid power, and the 2026 Civic is expected to offer a hybrid option that feels less like a compromise and more like an upgrade. The focus here isn't just saving fuel, but making the drive smoother and more responsive in everyday situations. Around town, it feels quiet and effortless, and when you need to accelerate, it delivers power in a way that feels natural, not forced. What's nice is that Honda isn't trying to turn the Civic into something it's not. It still feels like a Civic Light, balanced and easy to drive, just more efficient and refined. For people who want better mileage without giving up that familiar Honda driving feel, this hybrid option could be a game changer now. Something that might surprise a few people is the slight push toward a more adventurous personality. No, the Civic isn't suddenly becoming a hardcore off-road machine, but Honda is clearly acknowledging that buyers like versatility. Certain trims are expected to offer a bit more ground confidence, tougher-looking styling touches, and drive modes that help on rough or uneven roads. Think of it less as off-roading and more as peace of mind, whether you're dealing with bad roads, rainy weather, or the occasional dirt path. Inside the car is where you really feel the evolution. Honda has always been great at interiors, and the 2026 Civic continues that tradition. Everything feels cleaner, more organized, and more comfortable. The dashboard layout is simple and driver-focused, with controls that make sense the moment you sit down. The screens are larger and clearer, but they don't dominate the cabin or feel distracting. Materials feel more premium than before, especially in the places you touch the most. The seats are supportive without being stiff, making long drives more comfortable. There's also a stronger focus on quietness inside the cabin, which makes the whole driving experience feel calmer and more refined. When it comes to technology, Honda keeps things used. The system is faster, smoother, and easier to use. Whether you're connecting your phone, navigating through menus, or adjusting settings on the go, it's designed to help you, not confuse you, and that's something Civic owners have always appreciated. Now let's talk pricing, because that's always the big question. The good news is that Honda is expected to keep the Civic competitive. Yes, prices may be slightly higher than older models, especially for hybrid versions. But when you look at what you're getting, better design, improved efficiency, more features, and a more refined driving experience, it starts to make sense. Honda knows the Civic's reputation is built on value, and they're not about to throw that away. When you compare the 2026 Civic to previous generations, the difference is clear. Older Civics were great, but this one feels more complete. It's more comfortable than the models from a few years ago, more efficient than ever before, and more confident in its design. It feels like Honda has taken decades of feedback and experience and poured it into one well-rounded package. What really stands out is how balanced everything feels. The 2026 Civic isn't trying to be the fastest, the fanciest, or the most extreme car on the road. Instead, it's focused on being really good at everything most people actually care about: looking good, driving smoothly, saving fuel, and feeling reliable day after day. So whether you're upgrading from an older Civic, switching from another compact car, or just keeping an eye on what Honda is doing next, the 2026 Civic is definitely worth paying attention to. It's familiar, but fresh, practical, but still fun, and most importantly, it feels like a Civic that's ready for the future. If this is the direction Honda is heading, Civic fans have a lot to be excited about.